Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host, Maximilian Moreau, and with me is my co-host, Eric Fredrickson for today. Guest co-host for today.
Fill it in the Phil shoes.
Yes.
He'll be back next week.
He will be. He's under the weather right now, and so send him a get well email.
Indeed.
So what was I going to say? I don't want to start right on to the next episode. You guys may have seen my video or may not. That my financial situation has changed a little bit. I'm no longer employed. I just wanted to say that since I sent that video, we've doubled the number of people that have donated. So it's now up to like 45 or something people, and it's over $500. And there are just no words for me to describe how thankful I am for you guys donating. Like seriously, you guys are awesome. I've started manufacturing on the donation rewards again, so I have examples again. These will be going out in the next couple weeks. But basically, if you donate $20, $25 if you're outside of the United States, you get one of these. You also get all the previous tiers. If you donate $10, you get two of these. One of them is they're keychains. One of them is unsigned, and one of them is signed. So one's for you to put on your keychain and one's for you to keep. And it comes with a certificate of authenticity. I need to turn off my
and they're so shiny.
Phone. And then finally, so you get coasters and this, and then at the $5 range you just get one of these, but they're still really cool. So if you just want to donate $5 and get a little keychain, you'll get one of those. So
Sweet.
I probably should have had that on full screen, but whatever. So I'm going to switch over to the main screen and we'll get started with the episode at large.
Indeed.
So in our last episode...
The pill and the ball.
Yes, the pill and the ball. Have you seen what we've gotten done on this so far?
You know, on the last one I do... Oh.
Okay, so we have movement around a sphere with our pill dude.
Oh, that's too cool.
And so we actually have him kind of operating the way that you want him to operate now. So
on the planet.
Yep, he's on the planet there, so we can actually switch over to both views, and you can see him and just cruise around.
Cool.
So
how hard was it to get him to move forward and backwards?
We got it done last episode.
Stuff?
It actually wasn't too bad.
Very cool.
He's currently using kind of a weird physics setup as far as Unity is concerned, because this planet is it's a target, not a target, target. It starts with a T, a trigger. So typically triggers are for things like hotbox and stuff when you want to have someone enter an area and you trigger something to happen, or to check for something that's in an area. Usually it doesn't have collision. This time we're actually treating it as collision because we don't really have the ability to use a pure physics setup on this. So we're doing a kinematic rigid body, and we're actually doing all the gravitational stuff ourselves and all the movement stuff ourselves in this case.
So the principles of the trigger kind of thing?
Well, yeah, so basically the trigger here is this sphere. So normally if you have a collider set as trigger, you'll fall through it.
Oh.
We're not falling through it because we're actually checking to see if we're in it, and if we're in it, it's pushing us to the outside of it.
Okay.
So
clever.
Yeah. It's working out so far.
It's all right.
As I've said on every episode on this one, I reserve the right to just tear open everything we've done and redo it if we end up with a better or more appropriate solution. But this is working so far, so I'm going to stick with it for right now.
Sounds good.
So let's first make
it's
that not
working.
happen
Why
anymore.
wouldn't
Hold on.
you? Yeah,
Quit
absolutely.
this. All right. So so we have a jump value here. Do we not actually have jumping, or did we start doing jumping? Oh, failed experiments. Oh, this must have been last episode. Oh, yeah, we were trying to just push that through.
What happened? Catch me up.
Job logic goes here someday. All right, so
Okay.
So yeah, it didn't work so good. I think we had a couple of different options here to try and make make this work. So gravity velocity plus. Okay, so what we need to do is grounded is false. We set grounded to true when on trigger enter, on trigger stay. That's fine. And so what are we going to do here? So right now what we're doing is, first of all, I don't even think we have our gravity exactly right. Like if we start the game here and look at the scene, it takes a while for the gravity to drop properly. And I think that we're actually not doing the acceleration quite right on that. But basically we have this gravity velocity, which represents our velocity towards the planet. And I tried to rig it so that it would just work here, and it totally didn't work very well. It created some very strange artifacts, if I remember correctly, like flying off into space forever. or not forever, but for like 20 minutes. You know, it's not really useful in the jumping scenario.
We came back, and he came back to the planet about 25 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of thing.
Nice power test.
So, what are we going to try this time? So we have gravity... So we have a gravity vector, and we have this gravity velocity nonsense here that I think is a little bit wrong. I think what we're going to have to do is have an actual velocity value for the unit for the character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do public vector3 velocity. So remember, we can't use the rigid body built-in velocity because we're not really using rigid body physics, as it were, because we were having too many troubles with the character getting pushed around by things and then having an impulse when we were trying to kind of counteract it. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to go with a public vector3 to represent the velocity, and we'll start it at, this is the default anyway, but I'll just do vector3.0 just to be explicit. So instead of having a separate gravity velocity, I think I'm going to get rid of this gravity velocity float. Float's really not appropriate for what it was doing anyway. So what we're going to do, so we have a gravity vector here. We want to add this vector to our, so it's going to be just like what we were doing here. So we're going to do gravity velocity, or velocity equals gravity vector. And so let's just start with that. So we were doing something here where we were additionally adding and doing time to delta time. I'm just going to assume that that was really wrong. We'll see what this actually does. So plus gravity vector, and then if we get on here, we set gravity vector to vector 3.0. So this will be velocity. I think I remember why I was doing it as a float now.
Excellent.
So we'll see if we just are messing ourselves up here. Gravity velocity does not exist in the current context. So, okay, gravity vector is... So we want this normalized times gravity. I think after that we want to add our velocity. So if we hit save, let's see if it looks okay from just a dropping. Oh, it actually looked like it dropped better. Let's see if that's looking better. I'm gonna make him further away. I'm gonna
Did you get rid of velocity on it, kind of thing?
No, I changed the way that we were calculating it. So, and I think
do want to ask a question.
Yeah, that's much more like gravity. Hot. Wow.
I'm just curious.
What did I do last time? What was up?
I wasn't here.
Yeah, you weren't. No, you weren't here. But I mean, like Phil was here, and he was like, "What are you doing, Max? What's wrong with you?" Or he would be, but he didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. So, all right. So that's looking better. So, I'm not sure if this. Let's see if it still actually moves right too. Let's just make sure. You gotta take a break from it. Come back to it, and then you're a little better. Now, if you're playing 8 hours, and you're like, "Why am I not getting better?" You gotta go to the park, see some birds, come back, then your script makes sense. I have been playing too much Killer Instinct. I'm gonna be cutting.
There is no such thing as playing. Now let's stay on subject.
All right, fair enough. I do love Killer Instinct.
So do I.
All right. So so let's see. Grounded falls, jump logic goes here someday. All right. So now that we have a velocity, I guess the jump vector can just add a jump value. We'll just apply the jump value to our velocity.
Jack wants to know if the jump velocity is going to happen exactly at midnight.
Is that Jack?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Jack. That's awesome. I didn't know what your username was.
We got a small team coming in, actually.
Do we have any?
We got Scrooge McCluck.
Do we have any good?
Sheshwa? questions coming in yet?
Yeah.
Not just yet.
Okay.
Everybody's just kind of
Yeah.
warming into their seats at the
No
moment.
worries, no worries.
So, but hey, what a good place to start. Things are working.
Yeah.
So
Things
that's
are working
okay.
so far.
So guys, if you have any, suggestions or even, hey, what happened there? Kind of thing.
So what we're gonna do is
Which brings me to my question. I was just curious: is this physics you're throwing on there right now? Is it all applied directly to like the pill or the target?
this is just applied to the pill.
That's
this
awesome.
is a script that's on the pill.
Thank you.
And,
Continue.
on the player pill.
I will be asking simple questions because I am learning.
No, that's fine. That's
That's
fine. No,
okay.
I like people asking
I
questions.
appreciate
I like co-hosts asking questions too. So
Hey,
so
I'll ask for the group too if we have any questions. So absolutely.
all right. What are we doing? So jump logic goes here someday, and today is someday. So let's
right.
do velocity plus equals. So we have a float for the jump value, so we need to have a vector for it. We're going to be jumping against whatever we're on, so it's going to look very similar to this gravity source dot position minus transform dot position dot normalized thing. So I'm going to copy that here. And then we're going to multiply this. Instead of by gravity, we're going to multiply it by the jump value. And instead of doing time.delta time on this one's just going to be an instant force. So what this is actually going to do is it's going to change the velocity by 100 units instantly, which means that 100 is probably not the right amount. I'm going to put 10 as a default.
That's a good idea. Let's not blow it up just yet.
But yeah, so this should theoretically give us a jump or a jump-like behavior. So let's see what it's actually set in the inspector as far as the jump value. It's still set to 100, isn't it? Yeah, let's leave it at 100 and see what happens. All right, so, and we hit space, and nothing. Well, the velocity went up real quick. Oh, I see. It went to the negative for some reason. Oh, we're still in the trigger somehow, I think.
Oh.
Maybe that's what's happening.
Can we go back to the C?
So why is negative 100?
Oh.
That seems the wrong direction, actually. Oh yeah, we want the opposite of that.
So I was wondering.
So we can
what do you do?
we can just reverse these terms and that'll fix that. The other way we could do it is just to put a negative on one of the terms or make it an addition. Actually, the addition might not work, but this I know will work.
Cool.
So hopefully this will actually give us a jump out. So
First we're gonna
it
come
goes
down.
Here. We're coming down.
Whoa. Okay.
And we hit jump, and nothing. It is reacting. It is a positive y value at least this time. So let's see about also just moving the position just a tiny bit up. So transform dot position plus equals. And actually, we don't need this in fixed update anymore. We could do all this in regular update because we're not even using gravity. We're not even using fixed update that way anymore. But okay, so transfer position plus equals. Let's make another variable for this. Let's do a public float jump offset equals 1.0f. That's probably more than what we're going to need. But so I'm going to make this. Whoops. What did I do there? All right. I know what I did there. So let's actually create a vector 3 temporary variable called jump vector. So see how we have gravity vector here, and then we use that. We're going to do the same type of thing here, jump vector. And this will be equal to our little calculation here. Actually, we just want this one.
Shashwa had a question.
I'm going to call this jump direction, actually.
After you put in that juice in there. He said he has a question about, I'm working on a Unity project and I'm wondering, with gravity, how exactly do I get the gravity to increase realistically while falling? So kind of an increased scale as coming down?
So with gravity, if you're doing it manually, this is actually what we've basically got here. Gravity is a acceleration, so it happens continuously, and so you accelerate an amount based on the acceleration, and then the next time you apply that acceleration again. And so basically what we're doing here is we're doing exactly that. We're having the gravity, we have the gravity vector here, and then we add that into our velocity, and that keeps getting added every frame.
So it just goes
So
faster,
it goes faster and faster.
as
If
you
you're
fall.
using the built-in gravity, it should already do that for you. The built-in Unity gravity behaves like regular gravity. As a matter of fact, the default values are even set to similar to Earth values if you assume meters for the units.
Okay,
So,
and just to make sure, he said like just a basic explanation is all I needed. So as well too. So, but that was a while ago. But that sounded pretty good.
all right, and
cover
feel
the
free to ask
bases.
more questions. I know that there's a delay between what you guys send to us and
Message
stuff.
and,
So
yeah, and I'll be refreshing as fast as I can
So-
for us, guys.
I'm gonna get the jump direction here.
And good question,
Now
by
we
the
can
way.
put jump direction here. This is so we don't have to do the calculation multiple times. Particularly the normalized. That's it's not that expensive, but it's a couple things. It's a divide in there.
Did you blow
So-
your buffers if you were
No,
falling forever?
no,
too
you don't have to
fast?
worry. We're on Unity. We don't have to worry
Oh,
about
we got
blowing
your
buffers.
Okay, just
So
right.
transform.position plus equals what we're going to do. Oh yeah, jump direction times jump offset. So what this should do is it should move us up just a small amount. Well, actually, it'll move us up a whole meter, and then we'll jump, and then hopefully
On the
everything will be
surface
great.
Of the trigger guy? Yeah, the planet.
I did something.
It is jumping.
Didn't actually look like it jumped very far, but
Does that mean it was catching itself underneath kind of thing? Like maybe cutting into it? So it's working now that we're a little further off the planet.
all right, let's try making the value bigger. Let's just do jump value 1000 and see what we get. Okay,
my
that
goodness.
didn't quite work.
What's it doing?
It's like somehow jumping to the other side of the planet somehow.
Oh,
Repeatedly.
because that's the backside shadow. Okay.
Here, let's see what it's
That's
doing.
weird.
Yep, it's doing that stuff again.
Oh.
So I think I have something wrong here.
The pill, she goes through the planet. She's teleporting again.
Alright, so first let's move this from fixed update into regular update because we're not really using it as fixed update anymore. So we don't want this in the jump section, but we want this after here. And I'm just going to delete our fixed update for right now. Hit save. And then we're going to hit play. And this isn't going to be much different. Oh,
It's a
interesting.
new bug.
Oh, yeah, that's why we had it in fixed update. That makes sense. It's because these triggers only happen in fixed update. And so it means that we don't jiggle. Okay, so let's just undo all that real quick.
Bye-bye.
There was a reason.
Where we got here last time.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Sometimes we have reasons. I'm going to delete these failed experiments because they were failed, and this one seems to be closer to working. So velocity plus equals jump direction times jump value, and then transfer position plus equals. So, and we set grounded false, and then grounded shouldn't be set back on. So is grounded private? Yeah, let's put this into debug mode real quick so that we can see our private variables. And I just want to see what that looks like. So if we hit play, it's grounded.
Why do things work in debug?
There's not enough. It's too slow an interface for us to tell if it's actually working properly right now. So it's definitely moving up, but it's not going up. Why is that? Oh! Okay, so velocity plus equals gravity vector. So let's... So we should have a velocity. We get into fixed update here. So we've applied a velocity at some point, right? And then at some point we get to a fixed update. And it has this jump direction times jump value in it, theoretically. And so then it adds gravity in, so we start falling back to the Earth. And then we move it by... Oh, gravity vector. vector. We don't want that. We want it by velocity. This may break everything, but it's actually going to be...
Did that go in the right
it may
spot?
fix everything or break everything, one or the other.
Okay.
So save. It's probably going to break half the things and fix half the things. Well, that dropped really like a rock. But the jumping kind of works now.
It's pretty.
Feels like it's falling faster. Here, let's actually do an experiment.
Faster than it's
Let's do an
jumping?
experiment. Let's create a sphere.
Are we
Because as I said, the built-in Unity stuff should work pretty well. So we're going to put a sphere here so that we can see it. Actually, let's...
We can do the rock and the feather.
yeah, we're doing the rock and the feather
Sounds good.
thing here. So, and then we're just going to put a physics rigid body on here, and it'll have gravity, and it should, like, I think I've got gravity set... on the player, I've got the gravity set to 9.98, and if we go into the project settings physics, we'll see that the gravity set to negative 9.81. So wait, what did I have? 9.98, that's wrong. So 8.1. So let's see if this actually works properly if we hit play. No. I fell so much faster. We failed the experiment. All right.
Our pill should be flat right now.
Yes. So why is that happening? So gravity vector equals times gravity plus velocity. No, we don't want that. Let's see if that works. Oh wait, and the rotation, that's fine. Alright, let's give that a shot and see if that looks a little bit closer. Oh, it's slower, but it's actually too slow.
Do it again? Oh.
It's weird, it's like half as slow. That's strange.
What's the velocity thing set at right now? Is there a velocity?
Oh, you can see the velocity here.
Oh, as it goes.
As it goes, so you see it increases in velocity. Well, at least it's falling now. Now we probably have an epic jump. There we go.
Oh, that's money. Is it going to come back?
Yeah, probably. I'm going to try to run around the planet here while it's... No, it's probably not going to come back. Maybe it will.
It'll come back.
Oh, it's
I think
coming.
you're right. It might take 20 minutes, but it'll come back.
Why can't I move? I figured I would have been able to orbit this thing while...
Push
in space
out while
here.
you're jumped.
Oh,
there you go. Uh-oh, you're slingshotting.
Yep, yep.
Stop. We're playing our game. Push up that.
Alright, so... It has me concerned that the ball is traveling faster than the little dude here. Let me zoom in again so we can see it a little bit better. I know this is probably hard to see on the video. Feels like it's exactly double. So do I have an extra value here that I don't want to have somewhere? So transform position plus equals... And actually, let's see if we don't need this offset anymore. Let's see if we can get rid of that. And see if the jumping still works. So I'm going to go back to the player. We're going to switch this back to the normal view. Normal view. And we are going to set the jump value to 10.
Okay.
So if we hit play here, I just want to see if the jumping works a little bit better now. It's floaty, but that worked.
Yeah.
It's actually, yeah, it's surprisingly good.
That's so cool.
Well, yeah, the camera's just attached to our player contains a camera, so that's all we had to do to make the camera follow him. It's just a dumb camera. It just follows you exactly
When you're
right.
starting and you're...
When you're making a really fancy 3D game, like, oh god. So we say Mario Galaxy on this, we're never going to have the camera stuff
From
that they
the third
have.
party
The amount of work that Nintendo put into that, you guys, it blows my mind every time I play the game because... and we'll try to show some of it. I want to show some of the camera option stuff. I need to do that on the show sometime. But they do, like, really brilliant, like, settings. And, like, you'll go into one planet, it'll have a completely different camera setting, and it'll all feel right. And then they'll go to another one, and it'll all feel right. And I'm just looking at it and boggled that they get this stuff going. Right now, we're just attaching the camera to the player and calling it good. So maybe it's because it's not... No, we have the time, not delta time. And we should be doing fixed update at the same time.
Vector velocity.
So this should give us a 1.0. We multiply the gravity in, so that gives us the actual Vector down. We multiply time dot delta times this time-based. Velocity plus equals gravity vector. That sounds pretty standard. Transform position. So this is just the rotation. And this is the actual... We've got a velocity and we're now applying it to the player. And that stuff's actually working, and it seems relatively, at least internally consistent, because we're falling to the planet properly, and now when we apply a positive Y, it hops it up. So things are working. We just have like half
speed.
So I'm just gonna.
Can we add weight to our gravity?
I'm just gonna do.
We're with Shashwa right
this
now. Trying to figure out
times 0.5 f. This is not
suggested.
The solution. I just am curious if this will fall almost exactly the right rate. No, it does not. Oh wait, we want the other one. We want to double it. Double it. 2.0 f. Save. Hit play.
It's Kyle 2.0.
So okay, so it's not exactly time. It's still not enough.
A little trickery to
That's
see
true.
how close it is. Is it true?
I'm just curious what I'm
So
looking here is
close it
not
is.
to see. Not to see. I'm just seeing if there is a linear version that actually is exactly right.
Gotcha.
Just so I can be further confused as to why that would be the case. So that was close. That was surprisingly close. I'm going to... Oh, wait, we can't get rid of the sphere because it's a gravity source.
I'm gonna do it again.
I'm just going to move them much higher. We'll just go... whoosh. And I'm going to focus on them and kind of pan the camera, sort
The
of.
top four? Yeah. Tipper. There we go.
So hit play. Alright, so we're a little too fast. Let's do 2.3. If it's a linear thing, it's actually more confusing to me, but I'm just... Because it's looking like it might be.
2.2. Oh,
I don't know
where'd it
why
go?
he just flipped to the other side of the planet there. Oh, did I move...
Spheres bumping it because we accidentally moved it instead of the camera for the view.
Did I make some assumption somewhere that I was not aware of? Where was this before? No, we didn't move this.
No.
Wait, what? What? Undo.
I was
undo,
gonna say
undo,
Control
undo,
Z,
undo,
Control
undo,
Z,
undo,
Control
undo,
Z.
Undo. Okay. All right. So
Push play and make sure it doesn't go through the world, because if it goes through the world now, I'm really gonna be freaked out. Okay, we're good.
why was it doing that though? What have I done?
I don't know. There's like maybe the camera got twisted on accident.
Okay, so I'm
and
gonna move the
accidentally
player
grabbed
further up.
object.
I'm just gonna. Oh, I know what happened. We did it again. I moved the player geometry. We had this problem on the last episode. I just like repeating my problems. So let's just take these
Not the
spheres, take the
camera.
player. We want the camera. We just don't want. What
Exclude.
happened was the player thought it was further down than it actually was.
This is making sense.
All right, so
I really
Hit
need to play this
play.
game more. It's a great game. Unity is an awesome.
okay,
game.
so it is not linear. Okay, that makes me feel less uncomfortable. You can see that I accelerate past it, and then it accelerates past me before we hit. Like if we had even more time, you could actually see that. So I do have a calculation error that actually makes me feel better. So it's not just something we can fix with a scalar. That's good. Scalar is a really fancy term for a number. Just for the record, it's when you scale something.
Put that in the data.
So
man.
yeah, it's usually termed for vectors because you'll take a vector and you want it twice as big, so you
stoned.
times it by 2. So that's the scalar.
Three
so.
stone scale. Yeah. Gotcha.
All right,
cool. Good to
so we have a problem. All right, let's try it. Let's just do gravity times gravity.
Really?
Yeah, let's give that a
Just
shot.
add more words,
Add more words.
and it'll okay. Wow. Do it again.
Okay, so
It's pretty fast.
let me see the player
it's
here
fast.
real quick. Yeah, that was way too fast.
Yeah. Last night at exactly midnight.
Don't bring up travel. That's not kid friendly on this
Hey,
show.
I didn't. We're not.
I know.
I
That's
like tribal
classic
drums.
stuff.
I
It's
love
classic
tribal
stuff.
drums. We're just gonna say that.
No one knows what tribal war is anymore. You can say tribal war.
I like to do the.
Are they still around? Do they still do stuff occasionally?
There might be an archive or two out there.
Okay.
We might have to ask a guy from an
basically
old test group.
Basically, what
Who
I
has
don't know.
half of it memorized.
It's like something awful forms or something. I don't know how to explain that to people. So gravity times gravity doesn't really help us too much.
It's like, yeah, because I made it fast.
Velocity times equals. I know this is wrong, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because I want to see what it does.
That's good. Ooh, yeah, no. What?
Oh, yeah, you can't multiply a vector by a vector.
So it is
that's
an I
fine.
before an E. Always put that towards
Yeah.
vector
So
to a vector.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go over vectors better on the show and on everything. I want to do a special where I go back over some of the core concepts because
I'm down.
linear algebra is super useful, super applicable to Unity, and actually super easy.
I hear it clicks.
It's
once
actually
you get
super
it.
easy.
Yeah,
it's
actually.
just the only reason that it sucks is because if you go to a math class and learn linear algebra,
No.
I guarantee you will learn everything about how to build all the stuff that's already in Unity and nothing on how to use it.
Yeah, I don't.
And so since it's already built into Unity, it's one of these things where it's like it's easy. You just have to know what they do.
It's like using Dreamweaver for HTML.
Knowing how they do it is always good too, but what is this? Oh, this was just to get us back on the top of the sphere. Okay.
Yeah.
So get back on top of that sphere.
Melt that sphere.
Gravity
your
source
friends.
minus transform dot position dot normalize times gravity times time dot delta time. All right, I spent too much time on this problem.
Are we still in debug?
We're
That
not,
don't matter.
not on this, but so I'm just gonna accept that we have something that looks very similar to gravity,
Get about the speed at the moment.
and we'll just increase the amount of it for now to make up for it. We'll just make it 30
Just
or
more
something.
gravity.
And we'll hit play, and I'm not going to worry about how it interacts with the sphere. We don't care about this little sphere anymore.
Delete.
And we
you
can
later,
go ahead and
little
move the
buddy.
player back down. The player, not his geometry, mind you. Just the player will be sufficient.
Oh,
There we go.
I understand.
So we've got the jumping. Okay, that feels like a hop. Let's make it a little
It's a
bit.
good hop.
Now we can make it a bigger hop. Now we can go jump value like 50, and then he'll theoretically have 5 times the jump. Yeah,
Let's go.
that's too much.
15?
Oh, I orbited.
Orbiting will be cool for another thing if you gotta like
Wonder if I
reach
can
something
get
out
this
further.
to not orbit anymore. Oh dear.
Oh, at all?
I want to hit the planet.
Bring me back.
Yeah. So we evidently have escape velocity somehow. So,
Did you push?
which
back?
actually I guess makes sense because our jump value is 50 and our gravity is 30. I don't know if that's how it works. I don't think that's actually how it works, but you know.
we can slingshot.
I really should
around
play
the
more
moon.
Kerbal space programs so I can actually learn gravitational physics at some point.
That would be cool. I saw that.
Alright. So this looks like it's working. This looks like it's working nicely now. So I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit less on the jump. Make it
Yeah.
15 so that we can still kind of see the planet.
And clear boxes.
That's not enough.
Don't you think?
All right, what
it
we're
is?
going to do is I'm going to... we'll do 18. That's going to be perfect. I'm not even going to check it. All right, so let's get going to another planet. Let's
Can we
see
make
if we
this
can...
one a little bigger?
Yeah, we can make it a lot bigger.
Well, I was just
how
thinking-
bigger do you want it?
Just a little bit bigger to help it, so it'll be easier for clipping if it were to try to go towards the outside to orbit. I was thinking.
Oh yeah, because it has more surface area.
Yeah,
exactly.
to hit rather than clear, and definitely next planet. Let's try to jump to something.
All right.
Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna duplicate. I'm gonna call this planetoid 1. Actually, I'm gonna call it a planetoid, and we're gonna create a prefab for it so that we can make another one. And I'm gonna create another one, and we're gonna move it over here so that we have to actually work for it.
Yeah.
I like working for my things. And that's probably going to be too far away, but we're going to be experimenting with it. So what we're going to need to do right now, we haven't hard-coded, but we've kind of hardwired the gravity source. Gravity source here is set to planetoid.
Trigger. Yeah. Gotcha.
And so
Planetoid.
if we hit play, we'll go to this planetoid. And if we were to change it, so like if I was to grab the other one here and we were to put that in instead, you'll see that we'll just
automatically start sucking towards the other planet.
Yeah. So we actually made it to the other planet
by cheating.
That's okay.
So if you actually go, so we can see what's going on.
Yeah, let's see how far
play. It just goes. So what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to set our gravity source
to
dynamically.
an in-between point?
Dynamically. No. We're not gonna. We always want you to be owned by a planet. Like this is not like real life. In real life, all the objects are going to be affecting you in different ways, and so it would just naturally do this.
Dynamically
and actually,
means though.
We can even do it kind of with how we did the balls thing, but since we're rolling our own physics for the main character, we can't just do that.
Oh.
And we actually don't want to. Mario Galaxy doesn't use real gravity at all. It absolutely uses the system. You are owned by whatever planetoid you are near. And when you get to a certain point, and actually usually the way that they gate them, there's occasionally places where you can jump from one thing to another, but most of the time they actually have stars that like shoot you to the next objective type thing, and that way they don't even have to worry about it as much. And actually, they cheat to all heck.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because if you're jumping towards
areas.
one of the other ones and something says, hey, now we're going to make you the parent, if you will, of that particular physic.
Remember, folks, right now we only support spheres. We will try to extend what we support going on later.
I want a platform in the middle of there.
Yeah, we're gonna do more stuff.
Or something once we
But
get
right now,
dynamic-y.
it's all we've got will only work for spheres, and that's because the way that we were doing the collision only works for spheres. So.
We can work with spheres. It's okay. We just
maybe it only works with spheres.
Hey, if we jump from one
it only does, because we set our position based on an assumption that we're on a sphere. So we need to figure out a different solution to that later.
Okay.
But right now we're going to jump to another planet. So what we're going to do is I'm going to still start him with a gravity source. And this is the designer level. This is where, this is our starting planet. We set him in the editor.
This is a good place to start.
So now what I'm going to do is around this planetoid, I'm going to create another...
Now, you're on the planetoid that you are on, that you're picking to put this on. Okay, good.
I'm not going to put it on here. I'm going to create an empty game object.
Okay.
I'm going to move it. We're going to copy the position of this planetoid. Copy component. Paste it here. Whoops. Paste component values. And then we're going to put this... I'm going to put it inside the planetoid. And we're going to attach a physics... Rigid sphere collider. We're going to call it a trigger. And this one is... So, wait. How...
So it's inside with another...
That is actually it. So that's interesting. That it... Wait, but skills says 1. Why is it doing that? Okay, whatever. I'll take it.
It's on both of them.
All right, so we're going to give this a bit of a bigger radius. Something like...
On the one you just made?
Yeah, on the one I just made. Let's do 0.75.
Sticks out a little bit.
And...
Just a skosh.
So, planetoid, we have this untagged. So right now, when we, on trigger enter, we just assume that, well, we don't assume anything. We do assume some things, but, so what we want to actually do is, on trigger enter, we only care about... We care about everything at this point on trigger enter, which is wrong. If we bumped into something else, we'd actually have a problem because it would do all the logic as if you hit your planet, but it wouldn't necessarily be appropriate. So we need to actually start differentiating this a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a tag, add tag, and I'm going to call it planetoid. And I'm going to create and I'm going to actually set the planetoid to that tag. Okay. And then on this game object, we're going to call this I'm going to call it a gravity well.
Awesome.
It's not really what it is, but it's kind of a pseudo-gravity well, so I'm going to go with that.
This is our
so
dynamic.
The gravity well, this is going to be tagged as a gravity well. So we're going to add a tag, gravity well. And finally, we're going to set this to gravity well. So remember, if you just pull down and say add a tag, it doesn't set it to the thing immediately. I'm going to go ahead and apply this, so our other planetoid will now have the things that we've done to it, because our prefab now has that. So
Copy paste.
now I want to actually, on trigger enter, we're going to actually differentiate. So if col.tag equals planetoid. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
quote,
this is cool.
planetoid. Then we do the thing that we were doing before.
This is where we were assigning it to the other side.
So that's where we do other thing. Yeah, and so I'm going to go ahead and do this on this as well.
Oh, this is too cool.
You always get excited about this stuff. I love it.
What?
You always get excited about this stuff. I
I love it.
All right. So stay on sphere. All right. So, and then if col.tag equals what do we call it? Gravity well. Gravity well. We are going to set. So what is it called? We got
Planetoid
a gravity source. So we're going to set gravity source equals
No planetoid too. Oh.
gravity source equals col dot is this a game object we need? No, it's a transform. So col dot transform. Yeah, there we go. So this is our collider. This is what we collided with. Now we didn't collide with it necessarily. This is actually a trigger. We're falling through it, but as soon as we do it, we want this actually to be set.
Cool.
And honestly, this really only has to be set on enter. I'm not going to set it on trigger stay. And yeah, so now.
So enter versus trigger.
So what'll
state.
happen is, theoretically, I'm going to move this planet much closer.
Hey, it's our first jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to hit play. And the theory is, if we can jump high enough...
She'll give her.
Yeah, so that wasn't quite enough.
Wait, get a little bit further down. I'm watching it a little bit
All
closer.
right, so should we move the planet a little bit closer?
A little bit closer to it, yeah. Right there.
All right.
That should be
I'm going
close
to move
enough
a little
to
bit
trigger you.
forward so that we're really
there.
close to the zenith.
No, I don't
Not
know
enough.
if you're up
All
and
right,
down or not.
Let's
It
go a little bit further.
Oh!
Oh, it totally did it. That was too far.
That's good.
But,
Now see if you can jump back.
See if I can jump back, yeah. Yay!
What?
So,
Oh, I'm excited.
we have a bug there, but it is
The
actually
in-between
transferring
skip?
between the planets. Yeah, it's actually jumping back a little bit.
Got a little bit of a 1-2 meter of a dead zone, not so much dead zone. They'll play in the dead zone.
I'm trying to figure out, what is that doing? Oh, I know why. It's because what's happening is, so our velocity,
Is it saying?
our jump velocity is kind of based on, what is happening there? What is actually happening there? We lost all of our changes, didn't we?
No.
Yeah. Let's just make us jump a lot. Let's just, so that we can, this will exacerbate the problem that we just had, I'm pretty sure. So if we just change jump value to 30.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Good idea.
And then we jump it up. Yeah.
Is it because it's
Actually,
flopping?
that looked really good, but that's
It is
probably
looking-
because we got the positioning too good there. Let's make it further.
Oh, so close. Bring it in a little more. Back it out. Right there.
So we hit play.
There we go,
So we
got the
saw
bug
jump.
back.
We saw the
Good.
bug.
Oh, you were daisy chaining up the East Coast.
All right, so it's definitely working. Why is it jumping position?
I'm curious because of the.
It's not jumping position. It just looks like it is.
It isn't the starting position.
No, what's
then
happening is
flipping in
it's
between?
flipping around, and since the point of our character is on the bottom, so this is going to
Yeah.
look wrong. Let me just show what's happening here, though. What I'm going
That's
to do is
okay.
going to look wrong. So, player,
hoping-
we're going to move him so that he is
Back
0.
to 0 again. Okay.
And so now if we hit if we jump now, I didn't
First
mean to
we're
switch that to
stuck.
ISO, but that's kind of cool. Well, first we're stuck. Yeah.
inside
Why are we
plane.
stuck?
Because we're inside of a collision field.
No, but we're not actually. Like it looks like we are, but we're not actually.
okay.
I don't think. No, maybe we are. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I don't know.
No, you know.
I just like getting stuck in Crash Bandicoot.
All right, so let's jump, and then while he's in air, I'm going to switch this to 0.
Love it. Let's try it and
All
see
right,
if it
here,
gets
are you ready
Hold
to
on. Hit delete?
Hit 0 and enter. Hit 0
when-
and enter, like, as soon as I hit jump.
Okay.
Okay, that I didn't work when I did it. That was my fault.
And all I have to
I
do
think it's because it was selected. It wouldn't actually
highlight
let me
it, and
jump.
I just have to
wait,
hit
no.
0.
I had to have focus. That was the problem. This is going to be hard. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. No, you have to do it after I get selected. Sorry.
That's all right.
Give it one more shot.
Oh, you're not kidding.
1, 2,
We're not
3,
in the thing.
Go. 0, enter. Ah,
My fault.
no worries. Go. All right. So now can I jump? No, that didn't work. Never mind.
You know what we
Good effort. Good effort. High five.
Good effort. I just
All right.
didn't see it. Watch for the twitch in the middle.
So, is the planar geometry the thing that has the collider? I guess it is, yeah. So, that might be part of the problem. Here, let's add jump offset back in.
What?
See if that makes it work, at least for our experiment. So, we're going to go back to planar geometry, set it to 0.
Ooh, I like I said, he said
Play.
it looked like it was rotating too fast. I think
It
it's
totally
actually
worked. Okay, so
changing sides.
that'll work for our
Oh,
test.
perfect.
So, theoretically, yeah, see how it's like this
Perfect now.
super...
Smoother.
Doesn't
Wait.
look like he's jumping at all. It does. He jumps angles, but that's expected behavior for what we have. So it is just because he's flipping around instantaneously. So if we
That's what I
animate
thought.
that, we can fix that, smooth that out.
Ooh.
So let's first make the player come back to what he was doing before. And let's get rid of the jump offset again because we don't really need it.
Jump offset, what's making him turn the other direction?
What jump
in the middle
offset
of the
does,
flip?
we had it temporarily. We didn't need it in the
That's
base
okay.
case, but basically what it does is it offsets the character when you hit jump so that he's not on the ground.
Oh,
And it worked to our advantage here because he was in the ground, and
Gets
so it
rid of the
basically
collision
put him
problem.
on top of the ground and then jumped him up.
perfect.
So
That's cool.
that's the reason it worked.
Oh, I like that. I'll remember
So what was I saying we were doing?
that. Animation for him for the next twist.
So that it doesn't look like he's screwing
so it
around.
looks great.
So right now we are setting his rotation. Where are we setting it? Transfer.rotation equals quaternion.look rotation gravity vector. So this is where we're setting his rotation. And so what that means is it's just instantaneously doing it. So instead of instantaneously doing it, we're going to do another quaternion function here. So quaternion dot quaternion dot what do we got this? Look rotations rotate towards. This is our magic function here. So what this will do is it needs a from position. So we're going to take transform dot rotation here. So that's our from. And then our 2 is our what we already had here, quaternion look position, look rotation. And then we can add a max degrees delta. So I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to create a new variable here called public float gravity rotation rate equals, let's do 30 degrees per second. So
Is it going to make it spin a little bit and then snap in?
yeah, so hopefully
I like
what this
that.
will do is it'll actually look like a little rotation going on now.
Whee!
So if we do gravity to rotation rate here times time dot delta time, that's important actually when using this function.
So much delta time.
And so if we hit play and we go over here and we jump it off. Okay, he's rotating way too slow. That's too slow.
Too slow.
But it is probably going to work. Maybe. So let's make the gravity rotation
gonna
rate
have to-
300.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see what happens. He's going to hit the other side and just spin on the surface like a break dancer. Oh!
How was that?
I guess
that
that
was
was-
hot. Hot, 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 hot.
That was nice.
All right.
All right.
Sweet.
So,
All right, I'm done. Let's call it early now.
let's go play Killer Instinct. No.
No. Let's
Are you kidding
yeah.
me?
But yeah, that was pretty hot.
We need to put arms on this guy, and he needs to throw some fireballs. Oh, wait.
I'm actually going to make him rotate a little bit faster. Let's do 400.
Yeah.
But
Now, is he rotating when he's hitting the surface or on his way over?
so he
Just in
rotates the moment that he hits this trigger that we created. This
Cool.
is entirely artificial. Like it is, but that's what games are. They're artificial. Like you have to do this type of stuff to make
magic
good
circle.
gameplay.
We
Yeah.
do what we
so
want.
so this is
Game
in the
theory.
industry we might call this a hot box that you're entering.
Oh, for an
Where
activation.
yeah, exactly. It's activating what planet you're on is what it's doing. That's literally what it's doing. So
How'd you make that again? Could you go back real quick? Just point
So,
at it in
yeah.
the thingy?
sure. So what we did is we attached another object. I added a sphere collider to it. I changed the radius on it.
And the radius is where
And
she hits.
The radius is how yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So you can just adjust that.
Thank you. That was beautiful and so simple.
0.75.
Once you pay attention.
and then the way it actually works is in this pretty simple code here. When you enter the trigger, if it's a gravity well, change the gravity source to the gravity well.
Oh, cool.
So,
I'm so glad we're recording these. I'll be watching this part again.
no, it's good stuff.
All right.
So what are we gonna do now? Let's make another planet. Let's play with this.
Before we make another planet,
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw it out because I'm just curious.
All
and
right,
you'll
all right.
get the thoughts out real quick. Like, how hard is it gonna be to make a platform now in between to make
Okay.
that jump further?
Make that jump further and make it a platform.
Oh, just make a
between-
smaller planet.
So we could do a smaller planet. Yeah,
That's an easy
easier
shortcut.
way
Never
right
mind.
now.
Forget
Yeah.
it. We're done.
Yeah, we're gonna let's make a level.
Ship it.
Let's make a level.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna actually bring the camera a little bit further out. We're just gonna
I like
make
that.
it so the Z. Whoops, that's not what we wanted. Do something like this, so we can see a little bit more of our surroundings potentially. Oh, didn't quite make it. Yeah. All right, so let's put a little smaller planet between them and move these a little bit further away. So I'm just gonna duplicate our planetoid, and we're just gonna make it smaller. Let's make it 10 by 10 by 10, and everything should scale nicely with it. All right, we hit play, and we'll do like woo, and jump up, and didn't quite hit there. There we go. And then we jump up here. Woo!
Whoa.
Looks a little weird because of the way that we're doing the rotating, but it does work for right now.
Well, you want the ability to possibly get flipped off the planet
it's
because
hitting
how are we going to
it's
die?
hitting the collider again, so we've got an overlap of the colliders. Yeah, you can
Oh,
see
they're
that
right
here.
on top of each
So,
other.
so that's what's known as a design bug. It's a
is.
design bug at this point because
It's bug by design.
yeah, it's like you put the planet's gravity wells too close together. You're an
Told
idiot.
me to put them that close
Yeah.
to each other in the design dock.
All right, there we go.
Whoa, Con. Get back to
Whoa.
your planet, Con.
Yeah.
Kirk! Alrighty, made it.
All right. Actually, you can do that in Mario Galaxy. So, just for the record,
You can do the
you
satellite
can
orbit.
absolutely do a satellite orbit in Mario Galaxy
Oh,
if you do the like running duck jump thing and you go
Yeah.
Yahoo! And yeah, you can just cruise around some of the smaller ones.
That's cool. That's very
So,
cool. Rated has joined us.
all right. So, is there any questions on the on any questions or requests from the fans out
I
there?
thought I saw one for a second, and then it disappeared. So let's see.
Well, I'm
It's
going to blame
for-
YouTube on that one because, quite frankly, YouTube.
Yeah,
But
because I'm looking.
Woo! Whoa! All right, where are we? We're just orbiting.
You're gonna make it back.
Yeah,
That was a
that was
slingshot if I
exciting.
ever saw one.
That was exciting.
We just saved the planet, Armageddon. All right.
Let's make that rotation even faster. I think just making that really fast,
It's gonna
just as long as it's not
just
one
keeps fixing
frame.
it.
Just as long as it's not one frame, it'll look good. So let's just do like 600, 1,000.
No. Okay. Don't blow up. Don't blow up.
It won't blow up. It'll just
Oh.
might be too jarring.
Yeah, like it almost launched you off the little planet.
So the reason it's really jarring is because the camera is just attached to the player, and really the camera should probably lag behind the player a little bit.
Whoa, that was weird.
Yeah, it was because we've got overlapping triggers still, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't actually save
Scoot
that.
the planet.
Let's scoot the planet.
Go,
a little.
planet.
Actually, let's do it
Scoot the
in the editor
planet.
when it's not running, so that we actually get to save it. And let's move this one back a little bit too. And let's just
Yeah,
make
give him a little L
this
shape.
just
Put him in a-
slightly bigger gravity well. We'll just go like...
Make the little guy big, eh?
Alright, so we go...
I feel like we're
Get that
cheating
nice
because
little
we're
gravity.
using the other window to...
Got a nice orbit going. Oh, I might not be able to get out of this.
You're picking up velocity. You're going to slingshot.
There, oh! Oh, almost landed. Oh, no, I'm
So
slingshotting.
close. Slow her down.
I don't know how to slow down.
Do the reverse gravity thing from like
There.
NASA
Oh.
camp. Okay.
I don't have thrusters. I actually do have thrusters because I can kind of rotate and move arbitrarily.
in air?
So that is thrusters.
Kind of
but,
thrusters.
but yeah.
It reminded me of that scene from the gyro from the old school space camp movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
there's
oh,
some of
you
that
gotta
there.
make it out of it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Are we still at 600?
We're at 1,000 actually.
Can we go to 600?
Yeah, you want to try 600?
Yeah, I'll try 600.
600.
Oh, it's pretty. Oh, no.
Seems pretty. At least
Well,
we're
it looked good on the
rotating
left
fast enough.
side with the big camera head.
As I said, the only reason it's looking quote unquote bad on the right side is because it's jarring to have a camera suddenly change orientation.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll have to we'll probably work on camera stuff next episode.
Oh,
That'll be scary. I
Oh,
haven't
no
actually
way,
done a whole lot
Jose.
of I haven't done a whole lot of camera stuff in Unity, so but that'll be fun. That'll be fun. It'll be a learning experience for everyone. I'm sure
I
everyone loves to
agree.
hear that. So I'm gonna save scene, save project. Is there anything
I like doing
that we
cameras.
want?
You know what? At one point,
I think we're doing this too
Shashua.
late. I'm pretty sure that's.
Shashua, no, the thing is that the explanation, and just real quick here, if you could go over his question one more time,
Okay.
on the question of doing the gravity, and how exactly to get the gravity to increase realistically with a basic question.
Well,
his sister
as-
stole his laptop, so
yeah.
we didn't get to hear it back there.
Yeah.
So
So-
it was a pretty good question.
So I thought I answered it pretty good, but basically,
Oh, you did?
Basically,
Oh, no worries.
you want to add whatever you basically need a velocity. Your velocity needs to be added to by the gravity and all the forces on you, and then you add the gravity every frame times time.delta time, so there's appropriate magnitude, and then theoretically it should just work. Now, obviously, I'm saying that even though our gravity does not work exactly right, because we've proven that with the ball drop test. So
Here we go. We got 2 comments. We just have a bunch of delay, but it's okay.
yeah. This is way delayed, but I think your gravity bug earlier was multiplying delta time onto the velocity twice. That was
He thinks.
Yeah, well, we
I think he
did
fixed
get
that.
rid of that. We got rid of that earlier.
That was just delayed then.
Oh, wait. You're
Did
right. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, Jack. All right.
All right. Here. Let's
Oh, let's
it's
see what
actually
it
more
does.
appropriate to have it here. Times time dot delta time.
I'm using my memory.
Thank you for seeing that. Let's see if that actually fixed our problem. We're going to drop like a rock now.
Jack's
okay.
probably drinking kale.
So I'm going to set the gravity to 9.81,
Green
and we're going to do the drop test again. We're going to create a little
Cool.
sphere. Thank you for seeing that.
Maybe
I
that's
feel
what the
stupid
thing
about
was.
that, but thank you very much for seeing that. We were actually doing it 3 times earlier, so that was really good. I'm sure Phil will get a kick out of how many time.delta times have been removed since the last episode. So, sphere collider. Oh yeah, we just need a physics rigid body, and we'll just move this. Let's just move
For
it to
our
the
ball
same
or
position
sphere?
as. All right, so we're gonna hit drop. Play. What is that doing?
Is that the sphere with the
did
rigid
they
body?
hit each other? Or is there? Did I do something to the player? No. What did I do?
Wasn't that the sphere
That was
did
the
that?
sphere. Why did the sphere do that?
Go back to the sphere's settings.
Why did it
Was he
do
set
that?
to trigger? Is trigger.
It doesn't need. It needs to just be.
Oh.
It just needs to fall. Damn it! What?
Whoa.
What is that nonsense?
I thought that was checked last time. The is trigger. Or maybe not.
Yeah, we don't want is trigger on this in this case.
Okay.
It actually really doesn't matter for this particular test.
That's fine.
What? Why would it start just flying? Is it hitting something? Is there something that...
It's just starting out spinning. Zoom in a little
I'm going to
closer
remove the component here. I'm going to hit play. All right, and now I'm going to add rigid body again and hit play.
I'm so confused.
I'm going to move you over here. What are you doing now? What the hell?
Bygone.
I'm going to delete this sphere. We're just going to delete this little sphere.
Just make another one.
I'm going to create a new sphere.
I think that's a good idea.
I don't like that last sphere. I don't like that last sphere at all.
There was something weird about
And
that
let's
sphere.
gain code physics, rigid body, hit play. Do we have some sort of gravity, point gravity? That's our problem. So the planetoids have. Oh, that may be why it was falling different too.
Was it being affected by the
I
other
bet you
planets?
this is going to work really good now. I bet you this is going to work real good now. Let's get rid of that point gravity. So we had this on before for doing our little sphere show that we did on the first episode when I failed at everything and just was like, let's make physics happen. So now it should fall straight down. And is the player still set to like something stupid? Yes, he is. No, he's not. 9.81.
Sphere has used gravity checked.
Sphere has... Yeah, we want the sphere. That's
Okay.
because we're comparing the...
In between for the fall.
Yeah. Hit play. Just dropped like a rock. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong. Because... Oh, yeah, because we fixed the time.delta time, and it was so close to working, but it wasn't right.
Put back in the double.
That's what we're probably going to end up doing. But
Just because we already built around
let's
it,
just
just
not
in
do it
case.
just yet. I just want to see if something sticks itself up at me. Let's try...
I got a question from Drac on here too after we get a little close to this one.
Let's hear the question.
Just real quick here. He had something on possibly using Slurp on that camera to get rid of the...
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that we can do on the camera, and that's what we're going to focus on in the next
Dracon,
episode.
please
so.
join us on the next episode too, because I think that any input on doing camera, because it's going to be fun country to
Fun
explore.
country.
That would be just awesome.
All right, so velocity plus equals gravity.
Besides, look at all these
vector.
awesome bugs we're making.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
gameplay.
Yeah, so
Gameplay.
this one
This is not
does need a time.delta time.
We don't have bugs. We only have gameplay.
No, wait. So this represents the gravity for... Okay, so times time. So I was wrong. Delta time. This is not the right place to put it. Let's see if this fixes it. Save play.
That's the fifth one we pulled out.
Yeah.
Not that Whoa.
Nope, that was exactly the same. That was exactly the same. I don't know why I thought that was going to do anything.
We were too close.
We actually do want both time.delta times here. Because this represents the amount of gravity applied, and it needs the time to know how much to apply.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is... I don't know. I'm just going to leave it as this. We're just going to go back to our one that doesn't actually fit one-to-one with what the sphere is doing. Or it does, actually.
Like Spawna.
It's exactly right now. And that's because we were getting additional gravity from the point gravity source that was around the sphere before. So I'm going to go ahead and call that done.
Multiplier delta. Oh, yeah. Save. Yeah. Successful
All right,
test.
Save. So let me put the settings meaningful back to so that we have something for people who download this later. Hit play, jump. Oh, that's way too much jump. Let's make the jump value 10. Let's make the gravity a little bit stronger. Let's make it 30 again.
Yeah, get the baby cooking. Coming in hot, going out cold.
All right, and then we'll get the jumping back up to like 20 or something. And we'll jump up and make sure that that still works. Maybe it still works. All right, 20. A little bit more jump. Yay! All right, 22.76. All right, so 20. 25. And just make sure that we can kind of jump around and have it work. Okay, we can still rotate. We can still jump around. Yeah, all right. I'm going to call that a successful test. All right. So, face. Thank you for joining us. That was a great episode. I'm actually pretty happy with what the progress we got on that one. And we're home growing a physics system.
So good.
That evidently matches, well, at least the gravity matches now, finally, with the Unity's built-in system. So thank you for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, criticism, anything that doesn't start with a C or starts with a C, I don't care. I just like to use C's in that speech for some reason. Email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com. You can also tweet me at Drakfire. That's DRAKFYRE. Look at my mouth when I'm saying that. And you should buy Phil's game, Robot Alone. Robot Alone is awesome.
Yes.
And
It's got lasers. It goes pew pew.
and yeah, and donate to the show, and you get swag. The tiers are $5 for the keychain, $10 for the keychain plus another keychain that's signed and a certificate of authenticity, $20 for the tile, $25 if you are not in the U.S. because of shipping stuff. These ones don't go up in price because they're really easy to ship. They're really, really light.
But they're so shiny.
But these things are heavy tile things, and these it's a coaster. I keep calling it a tile, but that's because it's made out of a tile, but it is a coaster.
It's very heavy duty.
And so these ones I need a little extra for the to make it work for the people outside the U.S. And I'm sorry about that, but and I don't think I said that properly last time. So the people who have donated so far, if you expected it at the $20 mark and you're outside the country, I'll probably just push it through anyway. But thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for watching the show, and you guys have a great week.
Absolutely.